Welcome to the Metal Prognosis. My name is Lee, and on today's video we are looking at bass. Not just any bass, brutal bass. So I'm going to show you a way on how I attack it to see if that helps inspire anything and see if you get something out of it. So cue the cute little cartoon intro, and then we'll hop on the computer and we'll check it out. All right, now I've got everything set up, ready to go. What I've done is I've turned off all my plugins I'm using. So let's listen to the dry DI that we've got running through here. So firstly, as you can see, they've all been edited and put together and placed nicely on one track, which is always good. So let's just go to any part here. So it's a nice capture. There's decent levels coming in there. It's not too bad. So here are the four things that I've got rocking for this. First thing I always use is NS1. It just helps clean it up. I only have it on a little bit, so if there's any little parts that have no signal coming through, so to speak, it just cleans it up nicely. You can't really tell much of it off. It just cleans it up ever so slightly, but what I love about it is it takes away all the little niggly parts that could be in it or could give you a little bit of headaches here and there. So I always run that through. I run that through a lot of things actually, because I've got it running through my guitar bus as well to help clean it up. And even depending on how I'm approaching the vocals, I even use it for vocals as well. It works really, really good. So that's the first part of the chain. Second part of the chain is this by Black Salt Studios, the Escalator. So I'll turn that on and off and we'll check it out. So just a nice boost. It just helps boost it up and yeah, give it a little bit more volume and a little bit more aggression. Not too much, but just a little bit of flavor to it. And then we go to a big beast here, which is the Darkglass. So after we boosted a little bit and cleaned it, then we chuck this on. So let's run through, because there's a lot involved in this little plug-in here. Let's run through to see what we've got. So the pedal is this one here, the vintage one, because you have the, no, where is it, this one here, the black model, which is decent, but I feel like this just gives it a little bit more aggressive attitude, which I much prefer. Not to say the other one's bad, just really depends on what it is, but with this low tuning, I think it does really, really well. So the blend, I haven't got it all the way running through. I got the drive pumping, so I've still got that original twang, for lack of a better term, that we had for the original recording, and with the addition of all this distortion here. Speakers, looks like I've just got the absolute stock, the preset that I have as soon as you turn it on. I've taken the output back a little bit. I don't know why, but I've got the output back just a little bit. High sampling coming through mono, because this is all mono. I've got it gated as well. Not that it needs it too much, because we've got the NS1 happening. But I'd prefer to use the NS1 to start with. So before anything, we're getting rid of all that stuff and sending it cleanly to the Escalator and to the Darkglass. So that's what's running on there. Like these positions are exactly the default on as soon as you open up the program, because I think it's it's fine and powerful enough as it is. So let's have a little bit more of a look at this. I'll bring up the EQ and let's have a look at see what the EQ is like. As you can see, I've got a bit of an EQ thing there to help as well, to roll off the low hums and a bit of the high hiss. But let's check the Darkglass on and off just to see how the EQ alters. So it looks like you lose a lot of the mids to highs there. Yeah, a bucket load there, which really give it that extra grunting oomph, which is good. While I'm here, I'll turn off the Escalator as well so we can see the EQ. It's very, very subtle, but I love it. And if we have it with a Darkglass, I'll take the Escalator on and off with it. It just gives that extra push and that extra punch that I love. And then the last thing that we use is we chuck on a clipper, which is amazing. So looks like I've put a 1.6 push on it and we're pulling it back at -10. So let's check it out because on the level here, it's just below neutral. So that really gives it the biggest shove out of all the different plugins there. But if you did notice, I'll do it again and see if you can notice, the volume actually doesn't change. This being marked off on where it is, we're giving it a hell of a lot more push without actually adding any more volume to the overall mix. So let me do it again for you. I made a little bit of lower out of me. It did give a bit more of a volume push there, but nowhere near as aggressive and as full on. Like we're not adding, 10 dBs to it, and it's pushing it way, way over. It's still, I think the highest it went was -9, which is no problem at all. So let's add this to the mix now to hear it with the rest. And I'll take some stuff in and out so you can really, hopefully, get a grasp of all the little nuanced things that we do to give it that overall arcing sound. Even just dealing with a clipper, then dropping it in and out of the mix, as soon as you have it out, it kind of is a little bit too lost and too muffled there. Or as soon as you put that in, it puts it into a nice spot in the mix where it's really effective and is doing what I feel a bass should be doing to help emphasize and enhance the overall sound. So even just leaving in the dark glass there wasn't quite enough to push it. And when I originally did it, I just used the dark glass and then try to push it up a little bit louder through there, but it still is lacking a little bit of that characteristic, which the Escalator and the BSA clip are really, well, fill in those gaps. So let's go to full screen now and do a little bit of a final chat about it. But there is a quick run through on different ways. Now, there's countless different ways on how you can manipulate the bass to get it to how you want it and where you need to do it by adding in different style of gates or compression to help clean up the sound before it hits the distortion and then post. The different IRs you can chuck on there, whether they be third parties or different IRs within the program, is going to make a big difference as well. But yeah, here's just some different thoughts of what you can do to manipulate it to get to that next level, because the one thing I was keen on when approaching this bass was I want to make sure it's raw, that you can still hear the natural bass. I'm talking a lot with my hands. I don't know if the camera's picking it up or if it's just below. So I did this with bass, but I don't play bass way up there. So I don't know who does. That's in front of your chin, in front of your mouth. But while you're playing bass, you still want to keep that natural aggression that you brought to it. And that's what I really like about having those. You can still hear like the rattle of the strings. Now, being so low tuning, it's a lot easier to get those sounds because there's a lot more loose characteristics in the strings that you can capture. But I definitely want to still bring that to the table and then just enhance it and work on it. Having the distortion there as strong as what it was, but still enough of that natural twang that I got while I was using a pick for playing all the bass for these. And yeah, the Escalator and the BSA are very or overlooked, I should say, overlooked plugins to really help push the sound. They're really good with drums as well. I've used the BSA clipper on the bass drums to help just keep it in control, or to help give it that bit more of a boost without it causing to clip and just screw up the whole mix. Yeah, so really, really good. As I said, the Escalator helps with that little bit more bite, but it's just such a slight different characteristics that I feel makes a huge, huge difference to the overall mix. Because when you take it out, I can definitely tell in this room with these speakers, it definitely hear the difference. But definitely keen for your thoughts, how you felt about this approach and how I did it, and if you heard a little nuances and understood why I put what I put where, and yeah, to see if this inspires you on how to approach your bass, or if you've got your own comfort way or different ways of doing it. I'd love to hear it as well. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me in this video. It was lots of fun putting together, just kind of having, like my videos, I like to have a bit of a discussion and chat about it all. But a discussion is a two-way street, so definitely keen to hear your thoughts as well. And I look forward to chatting with you next time. And until next time, stay safe.